he had to tell my man over here how the tempo was going to be. Even though he's just right there, and he's clearly in the band. And he's on stage, right? He's here. So, let me just say, for singers, but for whoever is the leader, right? If you're the leader, if you're the focus of the thing, your chief task is to be a servant to two groups of people at the same time. You need to serve the music in both cases. In the case of the band, I think that there is like an invisible web or a line or a circle or a hub. And you are the center of that hub of energy and the fountainhead of whatever's going to happen on a given night. But it surrounds whoever is on the stage. And your troop, that's your crew, that's your group. You're going to try to subdue everybody out there together. It's a team, it's a family on stage. You need to look out for everybody on stage. You need to make sure that everybody gets an appropriate amount of solo time, spotlight, whatever you want to call it. Everybody gets to shine a little bit, to do their thing, right? Bass players work hard to be able to master what he's doing. Piano players work hard to wrangle. I mean, you have to wrangle a piano to get it to sing. You know, there's no shortcut to anything a piano player can do. I mean, there's some little shortcuts, but it's not the same thing as a singer who you already have an instrument that's there with you your whole life. Plenty of people with zero or little talent make millions of dollars because they're surrounded by people with an incredible sets of gifts that magnify this tiny one thing that singer who hasn't worked a day in his or her life is able to do, right? So the respect that you pay, the consciousness that you take, the way that you interact, right? Before the tune even starts, you have a plan for the gig in mind. Obviously, we're here to deal with just the students, but on a gig, you want to make sure that has a whatever. I'm not asking how much you want. Some people are going to be greedy and be like, well, man, I'll solo on everything. Well, but nobody needs to hear a bass solo on everything, right? 1, 2, 3, right? I'm like Chaco, and he's not here, right? On a gig, 1, 2 bass solos in a session, plenty, right? I mean, you're still the thing, you're still the hub, but, you know, everybody's there. So, when you count off the system, make sure everybody knows what it is. 1, 2, 1. And they'll be right there for you. Because they want to be right there for you. Everybody who's on the stage wants it to go as well as it can go. But you got to include it. The second arena, or the second energy group, or the second thing, grouping of which you are the focus and the conduit of inspiration for the evening, is everybody who's not in the band. All the way around, the bus boy and the guy working the bar, but especially the people who have come. And the circle that is there comes all the way around the exit, back behind the exit sign, and all the way right behind you and out again. And this one does not include the band in the same way. During their solo sections, you step way off to the side, they have their time, and everybody's focused on them and what have you, and that's perfectly appropriate and cool, but it's still your game. It's still your thing. So you need to be ready. You listen to their solos, you pay attention, you're invested in the music, even if you're way over here. It's like, oh, you're not playing right now, you're giving the spotlight up, but you're still invested in the music. I had a young guy say, what do I do when somebody else is soloing? Am I supposed to? Right? Should I just be like this? And I said, well, what do you usually do when you listen to music? Really intently. What do you usually do? He said, I guess I just listen really hard. There's your answer. You do what you would normally do. If you had to pay money to hear this excellent rhythm section play, and you loved them, and I mean, you love them enough to hire them, so check them out, make sure. Then when you're off to the side, so I'm sorry, I'm not talking about and I'm going to let Lawrence talk about a couple of things in just a second, but I just want to make sure. I've had some people say, well, you never turn your back on the audience, you never, blah, blah, blah. Well, man, you got to take care of the cats. Ideally, you can count it off from here, because you don't have to be, again, married to this position right by the piano, just because it's where you usually stand. You have the flexibility to say, and when you do a count off, you want to give as much information as you can to the band. Even if they know it's a bossa, even if they know it's swinging, the more you can be, listen to the difference between this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Play. 'But then it needs to be common sense when you're counting it off. The difference between my going 1, 2, and then automatically you're thinking brushes, you're thinking maybe hi-hat, as opposed to 1, 2, That's a big band count. That's a big band count. You got something wrong. Hey, something's coming now, right? Sometimes the most exciting thing in the world is a count. It's already music. You're showing them where it's going to go. You're telegraphing the future, but it hasn't happened yet. So there's all the tension. One of the most exciting things, memories that I have, is of Roscoe Mitchell, right? Came on to the Chicago Festival, and he was doing a tribute to Lester Booley after Lester passed, right? And he had called up every AACM member that had ever even been an ancillary member, whatever they call it, like a junior member of the AACM. And he had like 75 people on the stage. He had 8 bass players, 25 trumpet players, like 16 drummers, guys doing stuff, right, all at the same time. And it was killing because here's what he did. He walked up and he went, and they all started blowing as hard as they could at the top volume of anything they were playing. Everybody all at once for 20 minutes, nonstop. It was just ecstatic. At first, it was just like, holy shit. And this whole big giant army of sound just came blasting out. And as it went on and went on and went on and went on, it was totally infectious. And I had to get up and I was jumping up and down. I was so excited. I had to run around because these people were all just giving every single ounce of energy they could. And at the 20-minute mark, Roscoe turns around. And they goes, and they go, wow, this big tonic. Everybody all at once. It was killing. So, the count-off. That's what I'm saying. It could be anything. How exciting. Music before it even happened. And when you get up the chance, you play it for all of them. Ba-da-da-ba-da.